Assalamu alaikum, and hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're making these cool looking cinnamon buns. I hope you enjoy. So these are all the ingredients you will need. I will put all the measurements and everything in the description box below, so don't worry guys. So let's start with the filling, okay? So butter, cinnamon, vanilla powder, brown sugar, and mando mass. I mean, of course, the almond mass. So get a bowl and your grater and start grating your almond mass. By the way, guys, this part is optional, so you don't have to put this in. But I really like the taste, and it makes the filling firm as well. But if you don't have it or you don't like it, it's okay guys, just skip this part. Make sure that you take out your butter beforehand so it softens, but I didn't do that, so I'm gonna put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds. By the way guys, I know this is not real butter, but this works perfectly fine for me, and real butter is so expensive, so yeah. I put it in the microwave for about 20 seconds I believe, and it should look something like this. So start adding your butter to your almond mass and cinnamon and brown sugar and everything else. I think it was vanilla powder as well. Vanilla extract works perfectly fine too if you don't have vanilla powder or you prefer that over the other. Take out your mixer or a blender, works fine too, and start mixing. I was mixing until the butter became fluffy and nice and light, and that's what you want. So this is my secret for a fluffy, nice, and tasty filling for your cinnamon roll. Mix it really well, so I mix it for about 2 to 4 minutes, and it should look something like this, you guys. It's now time for the dough. So start adding your milk, and then you'll add your yeast. I used fresh yeast, absolutely use dry yeast as well. By the way, another hack of mine is to use cold milk instead of warm milk. It makes the dough nice, but it rises slower. Next step is to put in or add in your sugar, and if you don't want to add sugar, you can actually use honey of your choice, but yeah, I just use normal sugar. Now add in your vanilla powder or vanilla extract. Now add in your eggs, and this part is optional. You don't have to add in eggs if you are allergic or you don't like it or you don't have it, and it works perfectly fine. I used a spoon to whisk it a little bit to break up the eggs and yeah, separate the yeast and everything before I add in the dry or the rest of the ingredients. Now add in your salt, it balances out the taste. Now time for the butter, and I did the same thing I did before, so I put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds. Add the butter into the mixture. It's now finally time for the flour. I use plain white flour. And by the way guys, if you like, you can put in cardamom into your dough. It makes it taste really nice and smells really nice, but I didn't have it, so I skipped this part. I like kneading my dough by hand, but you can definitely use, you know, one of those dough mixers. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. By the way, don't do what I'm doing right here, using both of my hands. That was a bad mistake. So stick to one hand. Don't add too much flour at once because you don't want a hard dough. You want a soft, nice dough. So what I'm doing is to put in a little bit at a time and, you know, check in the dough to see if it needs more. And if you did put in too much flour, you can add in a bit more water or milk to soften it up a little bit. You know your dough is ready when the dough is no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl. It should look like this. The dough is now ready and it's time to roll them up. Another tip of mine is to not let the dough rest right after you made it. Instead, you let it rise or rest, whatever, after you roll them up. I divided my dough into 2 parts, as you can see. Try your best to roll it up to a rectangular shape. Don't forget to sprinkle flour on your working surface and on the dough. It's now time for the filling. Spread it out to all of the edges. This is my technique on how I roll up my dough. I start by pinching in the beginning and then carefully start rolling it up. So now to my favorite part. I'm cutting triangular shapes, but I'm not making them pointy. I want you to look carefully on how my cutting techniques are. So as you can see, the semi-pointy side is pointing upwards, and I'm using my finger to push it down in the middle. Instead of using your fingers, you can actually use a spoon. I used a chopstick and it works so good. I actually recommend this. So you just keep on doing this with all of them, and yeah. And you do the same with your other dough that is resting. So this is the first batch and I'm so happy with how they turned out, and yeah, let's just continue on with the rest. I'm going to speed up this whole process and you can see me do the other one as well. Now you let your cinnamon roll rest for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. It depends on your kitchen, if it's hot or if it's cold. After you let them rest for 1.5 to 2 hours, start brushing the buns with eggs. This is optional, but if you want, you can sprinkle pearl sugar on top of the buns. It makes it look really pretty and it tastes really good too. Now time for the oven. So you guys, you should leave it in there for about 7 to 9 minutes. It really depends on your oven, so you need to check it after the 7-minute mark. For me, it took me like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Look how pretty they turned out to be. I'm so happy with the end result, and it tasted really, really good, you guys. I really hope you try this one day. I know it's time consuming, but I really feel like it's worth it.